Mr. Yogesh Patil is a structural engineer by profession with more than 18 plus years of experience working with the industry best, structural consultants and EPC developers. He has expertise in structural design of high-rise buildings, commercial buildings, peer review, value engineering, and setting specifications for projects. So, let's welcome Mr. Yogesh Patil.
So before moving to content, how I started studying waterproofing. In my last organization, we had a lot of seepage complaints from customers, and our NPS was going down due to that. So major complaints were seepage from terraces, from toilets, retaining wall, water seeping through expansion joint, etc. So after a lot of discussion, the task was given to me by the management to go to the root cause analysis and find the solution. So to study the problems, I visited all sites across India, studied available practices with waterproofing products, and came to conclusion that we need to improve in each and every step of waterproofing process. The outcome of that was 1 year long working on SOPs for the 23 elements with external waterproofing consultant and internal all stakeholders. So this is how I started studying waterproofing. So the content will be objectives, then things to keep in mind, which will be bifurcated by in why waterproofing treatment required, identifying areas for waterproofing, product selection, method statement for waterproofing, detailing of waterproofing system, workmanship, high-rise building, warranty, and way forward. So the objective of this presentation is to evaluate why waterproofing system is required in building structure, to identify various areas in building structure wherein waterproofing treatment is required. Thirdly, to identify area-wise product selection for waterproofing with technical assessment. Fourth one is to evaluate proper method statement to arrive at foolproof waterproofing system, and to identify detailing practices for waterproofing systems. So why waterproofing treatment is required? So it's required to avoid damages to building structure due to seepage of water. So damages results in corrosion of reinforcement, delamination of plaster from concrete, or delamination of paint due to seepage water. Secondly, to avoid unhygienic environment inside habitable spaces due to seepage or dampness. So unhygienic means you can say fungus due to seepage water, or due to dampness, or bacterial growth on the dampness, which is not should be avoided. And thirdly, we can say underground tanks which are in contact with soil. So if we don't do proper waterproofing, the water will get contaminated. So this is pictorial view to understand the elements which need to be waterproof properly. So you can see from right side, it is water tank, that is overhead water tanks, then exterior wall protection, inside building wet areas which is covered by toilets, kitchen, balconies, kitchen utilities areas. In basement, you can say UG water tank, lip pits. In basements, there are raft retaining walls. In podium, it is swimming pool, podium itself, which is exposed to rain, and terrace water. So apart from this, while doing construction, there are expansion joints, construction joints, tie rod holes, pipe penetration in retaining walls, pressure release pipe, rock anchors, pile heads. Those are construction activities which is not visible after completion of project. So those also need to be addressed properly. So we'll go to product selection with specification. So while deriving or while setting product, we need to keep in mind how to select the product. Like points to keep in mind while selecting product for specific area waterproofing. Like functional use, the building use is residential, hotel, hospital. So residential building and hotel, we need to, or hospital, we need to be very careful. But it's a hospital, it's a habitable, it's patient's interface with the building structure. So we need to be more careful. We need to have specifications. So we can't go and rectify it in hospital. It should be avoided. Then it's weather condition, rain intensity. So if the project is in coastal area, or it is in maybe somewhere like Rajasthan area, rainfall is very low. So accordingly, you need to set your products. And temperature variation. So if temperature variation is very high, then you need to think the product selection should be according. Thirdly, it's for substructures like groundwater table level. So if your foundation or retaining wall is in continuous contact with groundwater, then you need to specify the product different. If the groundwater properties are like it has sulfate content, then you need to have different product. And defining product, material specification is the key element. And there are few elements which need to be taken care, like elongation, tensile strength, shore hardness, resistance to root penetration. So you need to set properly for each product what you want. What should be the elongation? What should be tensile strength? What should be shore hardness? And lastly, while defining the product material specification, you should know the TDS. You should evaluate, you should study the TDS, technical data sheets. Technical data sheets from the manufacturer, product manufacturer. And you should have the TPTs, tripartite certificate, test certificates to know what's the exact properties of that products. I have broadly specified the areas and the options which we have in currently. This is all as per my understanding, my experience with the waterproofing. So if I see the raft, I have 4 or 5 good options. First is like HDPE membrane, second is liquid applied system, third one is EPDM or PVC, fourth is modified bitumen membrane or a crystalline. So these all depends on which my situation. So where is my building structure is situated. Accordingly, under severity. So I will set my, as per my earlier slide, I will see what the functional use, weather condition, groundwater, and accordingly I will select my product form. So raft, I have 4 or 5 good options. Then retaining wall also I have HDPE membrane, liquid applied system, EPDM or PVC, a torch applied bitumen membrane or a crystalline, or I can apply 2-component PU membrane also. For podium and terraces, which generally has right now we are using as a soft tapes. Like we are having a lot of green areas on these podiums and terraces. So you need to be careful about it. So currently we have 2-component polyurea or hybrid polyurea membrane, or you can go with modified bitumen membrane, or if you have EPDM, EPO, 2K elastomeric cement base or crystalline. So like it also depends on the functional use. If your podiums are having a lot of tree or green areas, then you may choose to go with 2-component polyurea, as those are very good with root resistance and all. Then fourth are balcony or toilet, which are like wet areas. So wet areas, we have 2-component elastomeric cementitious base, then we have modified bitumen option, then 2-component PU membrane, we have crystalline, then underground and OST. So you have 2-3 options only. First is 2-component elastomeric cement with water-based epoxy coating, because it's drinkable water. So you need to be very careful with it. Then you have only water-based epoxy coating. Third link is crystalline. Last is STP. STP we have 3-4 options, like coal tar epoxy based high solid coating, or maybe water-based epoxy coating. Third one is 2-component elastomeric cementitious base coating, or we can have crystalline. So these are products as per my 18-17 years of experience and whatever I do. So next is method statement required in waterproofing. For any system to work effectively, we need to have proper stepwise method statement. In general, method statement should include, first is surface preparation. So surface preparation should have everything, right from cleaning methodology. If there are cracks, the cracks are less than 2 mm. If the cracks are more than 2 mm, then we should have a methodology to treat it that also. So like crack filling details, then pre-pond test. It should maintain how much time you should do the pre-pond test. Secondly is waterproofing layer application, the actual application of the layer. So detailed methodology in consideration with the product, you should have this methodology for applying the waterproofing layer. Third one is protection layer. So every layer need to be protected by a protection layer. So that should also be have with proper methodology, how to do it, how to protect the waterproofing layer properly. And last but not least, checklist. So checklist should have pre and post installation checklist with the site engineer to monitor the work. So ensures that work is done properly. And then we'll go to detailing of waterproofing system. For waterproofing system to work proper, detailing of work related to waterproofing should be done. For few examples I am giving, like we should have proper drawing mentioning how the detailing is done. Like corner detail. When corner detail means, for example, you can take bathrooms, toilets, or you can take the terrace also. So the horizontal to vertical surface detailing is very important. The major point of leakage is that the junction. So that should have corner detail should be there, proper connection. Then there is pipe penetration. So pipe penetration can come in terrace also, pipe penetration can come in retaining wall also, pipe penetration can come in wet areas also. So pipe puncture in horizontal surface, vertical surface. So detailing of that, how it will get connected to the concrete, how the treatment will be done, waterproofing treatment, how that integration will happen. That should done in drawing format also. Then upstand. So right now, if you see, there are a lot of upstand in the terraces. Maybe for pedestals. So that should also be done with the corner, like joints between pedestal and horizontal face. That should be also properly treated. And there's parapet wall, merging of terrace waterproofing with the parapet. That should be defined in waterproofing, detailing in waterproofing system. Workmanship. Whatever you do in paper, it should get properly implemented. So workmanship is the most important factor of waterproofing, as whatever you specify, if that is not implemented, then you will not get the desired result. So we should appoint experienced contractor having trained laborers and well-defined SOPs. So that can be, while negotiating also, we need to have this datum line. And experience supervision required from client also or PMC side also, so that the proper workmanship happens. So we'll come to high-rise building. So if you see high-rise buildings, the governing factor, structural design governs due to the drift. Drifts are due to the seismic forces and the wind forces. Foundation of high-rise buildings need to waterproof properly in order to avoid any damages due to groundwater. So we need to be extra precautious while defining waterproofing treatment to the high-rise building. The selection of material is key element, as there will be higher movements in buildings. As the building height increases, the drift decreases. So compared to a normal 15-story building, and if you compare 50-story building to a 60-story building, there will be a huge movement due to wind forces. Hence, the product property, which is like elongation and tensile strength of the waterproofing material, needs to be on higher side compared to the normal building waterproofing systems. Also the protection layers, as the protection layer will also, that should also cater to the movement, and maintenance of protection layer will also is key task or will increase. In high rise, I personally feel facility management need to play a major role in this, to check regularly what is happening to the protection layer, what is happening to the waterproofing layer. And lastly, we will see warranty. So while giving the work, we should have authorized applicator from the product manufacturer itself in order to get back-to-back warranty. This is required in order to avoid any blame game up to seepage or water leakage issues. And personally, I feel warranty should be minimum for the period of 10 years at least.
Thank you, Mr. Patil,